All right, let's talk about Notepad. We all know it, right? It's probably the most basic, most trusted app on any Windows machine. It's just that simple blank page for, your quick notes, some code, whatever. But what if that super simple tool was actually hiding a really nasty flaw? One that could put your entire system at risk?
Yeah, it sounds a little unbelievable, doesn't it? But it's the question we have to ask. Because for one particular version of Notepad, the answer up until very recently was a definite yes. So let's break down exactly what happened, who's actually affected, and most importantly, what you need to do about it.
So, Microsoft dropped a patch for a pretty critical vulnerability that allowed for what's called remote code execution. In this explainer, we're going to slice through all the technical talk and just give you the straight up info you need to make sure you're safe.
Okay, first things first, let's really get a handle on what this danger is. This isn't just some theory, This was a real deal loophole in the software that an attacker could actually use against you. This thing is so official, it has its own ID number, CVE 2026-20841. And you see that type? Remote code execution. That is every bit as bad as it sounds. It means someone from anywhere in the world could run their own code on your machine. And since it was just disclosed, this is happening right now. So the big question is, how on earth can someone hack you through a simple text app? Well, the method is actually kind of clever and a lot more direct than you might think. Okay, now this is probably the most important thing to get right. There are two notepads we need to talk about. First, there's the classic one, notepad.exe, the one that looks like it's straight out of Windows 95. That one is totally fine. The problem is with the modern Notepad app. The one you download from the Microsoft Store, the one with the cool features like tabs and support for Markdown files. That's the one with the vulnerability. If you're using that one, you need to listen out. So the fancy technical term for this is command injection. But here's an easy way to think about it. Imagine you tell your smart speaker, hey, play some music. An attacker figures out how to secretly whisper and also unlock all the doors into that same command. The speaker doesn't know any better. It just hears one long command and does it all. That's basically what was happening. Notepad was being tricked into running dangerous commands that were hidden inside a link.
And here's exactly how it plays out, step by step. It all starts with the bait. An attacker makes a special Markdown file. Hidden inside that file is the trap, a hyperlink that looks innocent but is actually malicious. Then comes the trigger. You open the file in the new Notepad, and you click that link. And boom, that's the breach. Notepad, totally fooled, reaches out to the attacker's server and runs whatever code it's told to.
Right, so we know how the trick works, but what's the real damage? I mean, why is Microsoft calling this important? Let's dig into the real-world impact here. This number, 8.8 out of 10, says it all. The CVSS score is like the Richter scale for cyber threats, and an 8.8, that's a major earthquake. It tells you two things, loud and clear. It's pretty easy for an attacker to pull this off, and if they do, the damage is going to be significant. This line from the official report really cuts to the chase. When it says the code runs in the logged-in user's security context, what it really means is the hacker basically becomes you. Whatever you can do on your computer, they can now do too. They get your keys to the kingdom. And once they have your access, the sky's the limit. They could go through your private files, wipe your photos, or even install ransomware and hold your whole computer hostage. And if you're an admin on your machine, game over. They could potentially take complete control of the whole system. I know, that all sounds pretty terrifying, but here is the really good news. The fix is out there, and it is ridiculously easy to install. So let's just walk through exactly what you need to do right now. Seriously, it's that simple. Just pop open the Microsoft Store on your PC, click on Library, it's usually in the corner, and then hit that big Get Updates button. You'll see an update for Notepad. Just make sure you're installing version 11.2510 or anything higher. Once that's done, you're protected. The vulnerability is gone. And here's a pro tip for the future. Go into your Windows settings and make sure automatic app updates are turned on. Do that, and you'll get critical security fixes just like this one delivered to you automatically. You won't even have to think about it. So, you're patched, you're safe, awesome. But before we wrap this up, let's just zoom out for a second. Because this one little flaw in Notepad actually tells a much bigger story about the software we use every single day. You see, the original Notepad was super simple, and that simplicity was its strength. It made it secure.
But we always want more features, right? Like the Markdown support that actually caused this whole mess. But every new feature adds another layer of complexity, and every single layer creates new places for attackers to poke and prod. It's this constant balancing act between cool new features and keeping things locked down. And, it's also really important to give a shout out to the good guys here. Security researchers, in this case, Delta Obscura and another researcher just known as Chen, are the ones who found this. And they didn't post it online. They told Microsoft privately. That whole process is called coordinated disclosure. And it's what gives companies time to fix things before the bad guys find out. It keeps all of us safer.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought to chew on. We want our apps and our tools to be smarter, to be more powerful, but an incident with something as basic as Notepad is the perfect reminder that all that progress has a hidden cost. It really makes you ask a pretty critical question. As our apps keep getting smarter, are we ready for them to get more dangerous too?